episode of What Are We Having for Dinner Tonight? I've got a chicken roasting in the crock pot, and for side dishes I'm making some sweet potatoes, and I recently discovered a copycat recipe for the KFC coleslaw. So I figured if they have coleslaw to go with their chicken, so can we. So I have already chopped up one whole head of cabbage, and it estimates that that would be about 8 cups. However, this was a larger head of cabbage, and I just decided to use the whole of it because we have a lot of cabbage. So this is almost 12 cups of cabbage, so I'm going to increase the sauce portion of it a little bit. And then it calls for a 1/4 cup of carrot. So I have got a lot of shredded carrot because I made carrot cake last week. So I'm just going to put in a big handful. That's about a 1/2 cup. So it can kind of go in with the nearly 12 cups of cabbage. It's a good thing I got the bigger bowl. It's kind of like Jaws. We're going to need a bigger boat. We're going to need a bigger bowl. So I'm going to use a little extra mayonnaise. It calls for 2/3 of a cup, but given that I've got so much veg, I need to add a little bit more. So, and then it called for 2 tablespoons of onion, minced. So I'm using approximately 1/4 of a baseball-sized onion, finely chopped. So we've got a head of cabbage, finely chopped, a equivalent of 1 whole carrot shredded, 1/4 of a baseball-sized onion for the veg part of that. And then for the sauce, we're going to put in mayonnaise. Calls for 2/3 of a cup, which I increased to probably 3/4 because we've got so much veg that needs to have some moisture added to it. So don't forget to like and subscribe and share to your friends and give us your feedback. And we always look forward to suggestions or ideas. So let's see here. We got a 1/3 cup of sugar.
Sugar.
That's what makes it taste so good. So 1/3 cup sugar. That's one thing I'm not going to increase to go with the sauce because it's really not necessary. So, and then we have a 1/2 cup. Let's see here. We got the mayonnaise, and then we're going to have 1/4 cup of buttermilk. So we're going to use a little pitcher for all of our liquids. So it's a 1/4 cup. I'm going to increase it to like 1/3 of a cup because we've got so much vegetables. And then for the others, it calls for a 1/4 cup of milk. So it calls for both milk and buttermilk. So rather than a 1/4 cup, I'm going to use a 1/3 cup of both. Because if you have more vegetables, you need more dressing. Because I do not like dry coleslaw. It's good, but it tastes better if it's got the proper amount of moisture. And then we had a run on lemon juice in our house recently, so if I get this bloody thing open, somebody else must have been in the pickle jar. Thank you. I'm going to use some Sucker Punch pickle juice. I think that would be a good stand-in for the lemon juice.
That's what I'm good for around here, is opening up jars.
Here. So I'm going to round that up to 3 tablespoons of pickle juice. Because I figure that's got the same kind of acidic bite as the lemon juice. And then it also calls for 1.5 tablespoons of white vinegar. This little bitty pitcher comes in handy for measuring liquids. So just going to use almost 2 tablespoons of vinegar because we want it to have a little bit of a bite to it. And it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. So we'll grab those. That's a good part of having the kitchen sorted, is that I can reach down and grab stuff without having to search too much. So I have all my measuring tools in one drawer, which makes it a lot easier. Alright, so that's it for the sauce part. So we're going to whisk.
Now, I noticed you use whole milk. Can you use any kind of milk or just whole milk best?
Well, for most recipes, the default is whole milk or 2%. I just have this that I wanted to use up, so I decided to use that first. So it's made a nice creamy sauce. And I'm going to taste it before I mix it in with the veg so I know if it needs anything. So I'm going to taste this. Tastes like coleslaw dressing. I don't know what else it would taste like. But anyway. Oops. Ooh. Got my water bottle square in the shot there. Alright. Get a spoon. And put that in the sink. So, you know what? Let's clear up the playing field a little bit. Make it easier to see what's going on. Alright. End of a busy day. The kitchen's not quite as clean as I had liked it, but most people work or have to otherwise leave the house during the day to do stuff besides sit at home and tidy things up perpetually. So I'm going to mix up the vegetables, the coleslaw, the ingredients, and now for the part we've all been waiting for, the sauce.
It's all in the sauce.
Yeah. The secret's in the sauce. Just in the movie Fried Green Tomatoes, the sauce solved a lot of problems more than just seasoning barbecue meat.
Yep.
So, anyway, we're going to stir this up. And in a couple of days, we're going to try making our Ronto wraps because it calls for coleslaw as one of the ingredients. And that's something we had in Star Wars land. So, for now, this is the copycat version of coleslaw for Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now it's just shortened to KFC. But I grew up with it being called Kentucky Fried or Kentucky Fried Chicken. So anyway, thank you for watching today and for liking and subscribing. And we're going to have a taste test for you.
Ooh.
Let me move this out of the way. And coleslaw gets better as it sits in the fridge so the flavors can marry. Kind of like chili tastes better after it sits overnight. But this is going to be a quick side dish to go with our chicken that we cooked in the crock pot. So, along with some sweet potatoes. If you have a busy work day, you've got to keep it simple. As most people now are getting ready for graduations and end of year celebrations, so we're busy too.
Yee, I got coleslaw.
So we had a whole bunch of cabbage, and I really wanted to make some coleslaw to go with our chicken, and then I happened to find this recipe.
Really good, you're right. It tastes just like coleslaw.
It is coleslaw.
I know that. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, it tastes like Kentucky Fried Chicken coleslaw. Here, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on for a second. Let me just take one more bite.
And now Logan can take a taste test.
Oh boy, my turn.
Oh boy, oh boy. You get to try coleslaw.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It is really good. Especially the sauce for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, thank you again for joining us. And it's another episode of What Are We Having for Dinner? After a busy work day. And then soon we will have Ronto wraps coming up. So join us again soon and make sure you like and subscribe and share to your friends. Have a great evening.
Thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen. To get more recipes like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Share it out to your friends, family, neighbors, and leave us a comment to let us know how this recipe worked for you. And don't forget to hit that like button. Again, thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen.